Welcome, nutrition navigators. Ever pondered over that innocent cup of coffee and its hidden secrets? Could your coffee habit be harming you? Today, we'll pull back the curtain on the lesser-known side effects of that jolt of caffeine you rely on to kickstart your day. We're not here to rain on your coffee parade, but it's essential to understand that even our beloved brew has a darker side when consumed excessively. From its sneaky role in amplifying anxiety, to the havoc it can wreak on your precious sleep, and even its potential to interfere with your heart's rhythm, caffeine is a complex character in our daily drama. So if you're a coffee connoisseur, a latte lover, or an espresso enthusiast, this is your chance to learn more about the impact of caffeine on your body. Stay tuned as we dive deep into the surprising effects of caffeine on your body. The journey promises to be as stimulating as your morning cup of joe. Firstly, is your cup of joe making you jittery? You might be surprised to learn this. When you overindulge in caffeine, it can amplify feelings of anxiety. You see, caffeine stimulates the fight or flight response, and this can make pre-existing anxiety worse or even increase the likelihood of developing anxiety disorders, particularly in those already predisposed. So if you're feeling anxious, it might not be just your imagination. It could be your coffee. Now, have you been tossing and turning at night? Let's take a moment to consider how your beloved coffee might be playing a role in this. Caffeine, the main component of your cup of joe, has a knack for meddling with your sleep patterns. It can delay the time you nod off to dreamland, diminish the quality of your slumber, and even pave the way to chronic sleep deprivation. So next time you find yourself struggling to catch some Z's, remember, if counting sheep isn't helping, maybe it's time to look at your coffee cup. Next, we're going to talk about some serious stuff. Did you know your coffee could be linked to some health risks? Yes, that morning cup of joe could be doing more than just waking you up. Firstly, let's talk about pregnancy. Some studies suggest a high caffeine intake during this precious time could potentially increase the risk of miscarriage. So if you're expecting, it might be worth swapping that espresso for a decaf. Next up, let's discuss blood pressure. Even if you're not prone to hypertension, caffeine can cause temporary spikes in blood pressure. Over time, this could contribute to an increased risk of cardiovascular problems. So if your heart's already working overtime, your coffee habit might be doing it no favors. Now, who here has had a caffeine headache? For some, caffeine can be a trigger for migraines. Plus, if you're a frequent coffee drinker, you might find yourself dependent on it. And when you try to cut back, withdrawal headaches, let's move on to bone density. Over the long term, caffeine may interfere with calcium absorption, which could lead to reduced bone density and potentially increase the risk of osteoporosis. If you're already worried about your bones, this might be another reason to rethink that latte. Additionally, caffeine can be a bit of an irritant for your gut, potentially exacerbating conditions like acid reflux, heartburn, or irritable bowel syndrome. And as a diuretic, caffeine could have you running to the restroom more frequently than you'd like, possibly leading to mild dehydration. Finally, let's not forget about medications. Caffeine can interact with various drugs, either reducing their effectiveness or amplifying side effects. So if you're on medication, it's worth checking with your doctor about any possible adverse interactions with caffeine. Quite surprising, isn't it? But remember, we're not saying you should quit coffee entirely. It's all about moderation. So, next time you reach for that extra cup of coffee, remember these potential risks and consider whether it might be time to cut back. After all, your health is your wealth, and sometimes less is more. As we come to the end of this journey, it's clear that your coffee habit could be harming you more than you think. We've delved into the less discussed dangers of excessive caffeine consumption, from heightened anxiety to disrupted sleep cycles, and even serious health risks such as potential miscarriages, elevated blood pressure, and reduced bone density. We've also touched on how caffeine can trigger headaches and migraines, cause digestive discomfort, increase urinary frequency, and even mask medication effects. It's crucial to remember that while a hot cup of joe might perk you up in the morning, in the long run, it's about balance. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, it may be time to consider monitoring and potentially reducing your caffeine intake. We hope this information helps you make informed decisions about your caffeine intake. Remember, it's all about balance. Now, please hit the thumbs up button right now to let YouTube know this content is appreciated. That will help get this content out to those who may need it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is your Nutrition Navigator signing off.